So what is going on, guys? Nando here, and we are in beautiful Miami, Florida. I know it's been a little while, probably about 5-6 days, and the reason is because, sadly, if you guys have been following me lately, I was in California, and I left my Sony cam with like 4 days worth of footage out in California at my friend's house. But good news is that he already shipped it up to New Jersey, which I'll be there tomorrow, so I'm gonna go on like an editing spree, just to have videos lined up for you guys. But if you guys follow me on Instagram, which is Fat Dudes Fitness, you guys saw that I posted a Q&A. So I thought, why not get some sort of content out to you guys where I don't need a special camera, where I don't need a bunch of editing tools, and kind of like a thank you for, we're at 1,300 subs, which is awesome. So I've had a couple announcements lately. So guys, just bear with me because I am using a flashlighting. It's like 1 in the morning. But like I said, I want to get this out to you guys. And if you guys do follow me on Instagram, you saw the most recent news, which is I am officially a BPN, which is Bear Performance Nutrition sponsored athlete. So if you guys don't know what BPN is, you guys should definitely follow Nick Bear and Preston Bear. Nick Bear has been around for a long time, probably a year-ish or so. He's nearly at 40K subs. And Preston just started up recently. He's almost at 2,000 subs. And I've been following them around for a long time. Well, I've been following Nick for a long time, and Preston just recently when I realized he had a new channel. But right now his company is very small in terms of like supplement line. He has a pre-workout, a intro workout, which is like BCAAs and pump, and then a creatine. And then he just added a shaker bottle and a shirt. But I know the lineup is small, but I've personally bought the intra and the pre-workout. I've never tried the creatine, but I've personally bought the pre-workout and the intra, and I love it. Like, I'm sing high praises to it. Not just saying that because now I'm officially sponsored, but if you guys see, I've seen a lot of my videos. I've reviewed them a bunch. I've talked about them a bunch, how I like it in terms of taste, effectiveness, overall like marketing, and all just like what it looks like, how it appeals to people. I personally love it, and I know a lot of people that buy it also kind of give it one leap of faith. They try it and then they never go back to whatever they were doing. But big shout out to them. I'm not going to tell you guys exactly what the contract entails, but it is a contract for a certain amount of time. I get a certain amount of product, and I get a discount code for you guys to help you save some money, which is just Fat Dudes right here. Right here, right next to this face. And like I said, it saves you 10% from all the products, clothing, shakers, and supplements. And he's working on some more stuff. But anyway, that's my little tidbit. Let's cue this intro and get right into the Q&A. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Alright guys, so welcome to the Q&A. I am on the balcony right now. Like I said, 1:30 in the morning-ish, but I gotta get this video done. I want to put some sort of content out for you guys, because we did just officially hit 1,300 subs. Thank you so much. Because of you guys, I am where I am today, and I just had an amazing LA trip. I just got amazing news that I'm sponsored by my first supplement company, hopefully the last, because I know for a fact that it's gonna be an amazing partnership. But, so first question, I actually had like 3 or 4 questions about where I plan to be this summer, if I can collab with people, what my plans are this summer, because I do have about 2 months left of my summer vacation where I just plan on working, doing YouTube, no school. So my plan is I get home tomorrow, which is going to be Saturday, June 4th, in the morning, and then I'm going to be in New Jersey for the rest of the time, except for a 1-week kind of hiatus where I'm going to go to Costa Rica with my family, because my mom is the man and she planned an awesome vacation for us. But I don't have any specific plans. I do want to make it out to Texas maybe at some point, but I know me and Preston Bear, who's Nick Bear's little brother, we're going to get something going because he's in the Pennsylvania area, which is not too far from me. But that is my plan in terms of where I'm going to be. Halen, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be anywhere near Arizona. Cameron, if you want to make the trip out to New Jersey, I'm more than happy because Ohio's a little bit far from me. But yeah, I'm going to be in the northeast area, so if you guys are in New York City, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, even like Delaware, Maryland, I'd be more than happy to make the trip. If you guys have a plan, just DM me, shoot me an email, link is in the description all the time. Alright, so next question, guys. So in lieu of the most recent sponsorship of BPN, Bare Performance Nutrition, people have asked me if I have any tips on getting sponsored. So that's very, very tricky. As you guys know, I am sponsored by Wolfpack Gym Apparel, which was so awesome as to fly me out to LA to hit up all the LA spots. I have an amazing partnership with them, amazing people. Became friends with them the second I met them. And then now I am sponsored with a supplement company called Bare Performance Nutrition. So, tips on getting sponsored. So, there's a lot of people, even in the short time that I've had a website where I offer personal training, where they DM me and they're like, hey, let me be your guinea pig. Hey, let me get coaching for free if I tag you in this or if I post this, blah, 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 blah. Don't be that person. Don't just hit up a bunch of random companies and be like, oh, can I please have a shirt? Oh, can I please have some pre-workout? Oh, can I please have a couple samples and blow it? Like, it's not a good look. It kind of turns off the company from that person. So what I've learned is I've had Wolfpack Gym Apparel is my second clothing sponsor. I'm not with the first one that I was before for other reasons, not to talk trash on them, but it just didn't work out. I personally just didn't work out with me, it didn't work out with them. It was not a good match. But now with Wolfpack Gym Apparel, the way it started is, if you guys watched my previous video, which you guys actually meet the owner, I actually found them on Instagram before they launched, and I just sent him a DM and I told Jordan, who's the owner, really love your clothes. Do you have maybe like a discount code? Which is, I mean, you can ask for a discount code because most companies have discount codes. So I asked him, can I get a discount code and maybe order them pre-launch to help kind of spread the word and see if I like it, that kind of stuff. So that's how I got in contact with Jordan, and I ordered the shirts. I got them pre-launch, took some pictures. I love the clothing brand. I love what they stood for, and kind of the rest was history. So you gotta like, and I'm not gonna lie, I got very, very lucky with Jordan and how Jordan, Lewis, and Gons and how well we match up and all that good stuff. And I'm not gonna forget Ryan, don't worry. Wolfpack Gym Apparel. I love them. They got, like I said, the joggers are still out. We sold out at the smalls and mediums, and a lot of good stuff is coming soon, guys. And I kind of feel I feel like not just a sponsor, but I feel like part of the team, which is very, very key. You don't want to be just another name that's kind of just promoting a brand with a discount code, like Paragon Fitness or whatever. They're big on that. They kind of just let anybody become an ambassador and get a discount code. Same with like D Supply, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. There's a bunch of companies that kind of just use that as a tactic to make money, where they convince people like you and me, or anybody that has an Instagram account or YouTube channel, be an ambassador for us, but you have to buy the first 10 things by yourself. That kind of deal. So that's how it was with Wolfpack Gym Apparel, but with BPN, it was a totally different story. It was more like I was noticed by them as opposed to me trying to get with them. So with BPN, I followed Nick Bare for forever. I thought he was a great guy. I always commented on his stuff. Every now and then I would tag him with stuff. I purchased his products without ever asking for any favors, and kind of one thing led to another. He saw how much work I put in, and in terms of getting a sponsorship, it's all about consistency. Yeah, you're gonna have some days where some videos aren't as good as the other ones, but just get content out, guys. Get good quality content out with good, decent camera. Like right now, you guys are seeing me, I'm using my iPhone camera, and it's pretty good. The autofocus is a little bit out of whack, but I think it's perfectly fine for this situation I'm in right now. But like I said, it's all about consistency. And then Nick Bare kind of noticed me. He put out an athlete search. I made a really good, genuine video, kind of just showing him who I was and what I stood for, and that was really it. So that's my tip on sponsorships. Kind of just like be yourself, find a unique niche that not a lot of people have, and don't beg for free stuff, guys. That's such a turnoff for companies. Such a turnoff. So, and then just be consistent. Consistency is key in this world, in this YouTube world especially. Alright guys, so one really good question that I got, which kind of intrigued me, was Skywalker asked, how long did it take me to understand or perfect, I'm not going to say perfect because it's really hard to perfect something, but how long did it take me to understand what If It Fits Your Macros really was? So there was 2 points, or two different ways that I understand If It Fits Your Macros. So when it was first explained to me, I thought it was a ridiculous idea. I was like, no way a freaking carb from ice cream is the same from a carb as broccoli, right? Which is kind of like the idea of what If It Fits Your Macros is. But 2 years later, I realized that it was actually a lot more than that. So I understand If It Fits Your Macros. So when it was first explained to me, I thought it was a ridiculous idea. I was like, no way a freaking carb from ice cream is the same from a carb as broccoli, right? Which is kind of like the idea of what If It Fits Your Macros is. But from a mathematical standpoint, I understood pretty quickly. As in, but what I mean by that is a fat is 9 calories, a carb is 4 calories, a protein is 4 calories, alcohol macronutrient is 7 calories. And I understood that you need a certain amount of carbs, a certain amount of protein, a certain amount of fat to equal the amount of total caloric intake that you're going to take in the day. So that, the mathematical and kind of like the puzzle that you do to figure out your macros and kind of fulfill your macros for the day, I understood. I understood it pretty quickly. Because I mean, I'm good with numbers, in my opinion. But for me to understand how a carb affects your body, how fat is stored in your body, how your body reacts to certain types of proteins, what fiber really is, it took me a little while longer. It took me a lot more research, a little bit of schooling, a little trial and error with myself, and I would say I did not really know what was going on until probably 6 months into me learning what It Fits Your Macros really was. And to this day, like, I'm learning every single day. There's no, like, you gotta keep learning and keep going and keep figuring out different ways different macros affect your body. So I know that I'm good with a lot of carbs, low fat. My body burns through carbs very quickly. I can be eating 500 grams of carbs and still lose weight if I do it correctly. So that's kind of how it took. Like, from a mathematical standpoint, yeah, if you're at a caloric deficit or at a caloric surplus, you're gonna gain weight or lose weight. But it's just how, like, once you start getting into a little deeper into the cut, a little deeper into the surplus, the little things is like what kind of like a rice is gonna affect your body different than an ice cream carb, kind of that kind of aspect. So that took me a little bit longer, but I feel like I have a very good grasp on it. And like I said, I'm still learning. There's a million methodologies nowadays. There's so many, and there's not going to be a perfect, what's it called, a perfect plan for each person. So kind of trial and error with yourself, or find a coach, kind of help you figure out what works for you, because a lot of people, If It Fits Your Macros doesn't work for everybody. People begin to have a bad relationship with food, and then it all goes kind of downhill from there. So that's my take on that. Another question that I got is, should women take creatine? So my take on creatine is that people not in the fitness industry who are just getting into lifting, creatine has a bad rep. It has a bad aura around it. People think it's like steroids if they're not in the fitness industry and they're just starting to lift. Creatine, I almost take it as a freaking multivitamin. I take it every single day, monohydrate, 5 grams a day. I don't backload it. I don't do anything crazy. It's literally just 5 grams of creatine monohydrate on a daily basis. I've been doing it for 2 years consistently, and then off and on before that. But so do I think women should take creatine? Yeah, of course. Unless you're somebody who's just trying to literally bring the number on the scale down as quickly as possible and doesn't care about any muscle retention and just wants to like literally lose weight on a crash diet, you're just gonna piss away the creatine. So like I said, if you're bulking, if you're cutting, if you're maintaining, if you're a guy, if you're a girl, if you're vegan, if you're vegetarian, if you're keto, if you eat nothing but meat, creatine will help with protein synthesis, recovery, and muscle retention, especially when you're cutting. It does hold a little bit of water, but think about it this way: you literally piss it out. People are like, oh, what if I don't work out and still take creatine? Will it mess with my liver? You're gonna piss it out. If you take the recommended daily amount, which is 5 grams a day, you will piss it out if you don't use it. And then I like to stick to monohydrate creatine, which is the oldest, most tried true form of creatine, which I've learned, I've researched, I've tried creatine HCl, which is hydrochloric, it's kind of like the same amount of creatine in a smaller dosage, but I don't know, I just like to stick to stuff that's been around since the 70s. Freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger used it. Like, it's been around for so long that it's worked, and that's the one thing that I always keep in my supplement stack. Somebody else asked what I currently take in terms of subs. I take a multivitamin. I take anywhere between 500 milligrams to 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. I take a fish oil. I take, like I said, my 5 grams of creatine. And then I'll do my pre-workout, my intra-workout, and every now and then, if I want to supplement my protein, I'll do protein powder. Do I think this is necessary at all? No. The one that's most necessary, in my opinion, is a multivitamin, especially if you don't get enough fruit in, enough vegetables in, and it's gonna supplement your micronutrient intake, which is your vitamin A, C, D, all your vitamins, all the way to zinc. It's just gonna help supplement it. It helped a lot when I was at school because I very rarely bought any fruit. I bought vegetables, but I never bought any fruit because I thought it would go bad because I would not eat it in time. So that's my current supplement stack. That's what I think about creatine, and if women should take creatine, like I said, yes, I think women should take creatine. It doesn't matter if you're a guy, girl, or whatever diet you're on. I think creatine is a great thing to add to your stack. But stick to monohydrate. If you're ever iffy, stick to monohydrate, which is the one I've been using for literally 2 years. And product placement, BPN has a monohydrate creatine. Fat dudes right here for discount. To finish it off, guys, Victoria asked me what fueled my passion for fitness. So if you guys have seen my transformation video, my most viewed video on YouTube, has about 50,000 views. You guys might think like right after that is what made me wanna, made me wanna get into this whole fitness industry, this whole fitness world. So I lost my weight. I went from about 263 to 210 my senior year in high school. I felt I was on top of the world, guys, I'm not gonna lie. I had lost weight, I was like the star player on my football team, I was going to school to play football, I had a girlfriend, I had just recently picked up drinking, I won't lie to you guys, so everything was going well, and right then and there, I would literally only work out when I was told to for football, and when I felt like I needed to for football. It was literally lifting, not to better myself, but to make sure, but when my coaches told me to be there, in that kind of situation. So between my senior year of high school and my freshman year of college, fitness was not part of my life really. I would only do it when I was told to do it. I was more into the whole, I want to drink, I want to hang out with my friends, I want to go enjoy this new, like, I'm not going to say enjoy my new body, but enjoy this new person that I've kind of become. I went from being 260 and being friend zoned by everybody to 210 and kind of like, everybody's like, whoa, like, look at this guy, you know? And that's gonna happen. You don't want to become so overconfident to the point where you become like arrogant or you don't remember where you came from kind of thing. But it wasn't even that I was arrogant. It was just like I didn't really look at it as me getting into the fitness world. It was just my mom was kind of helping me out, and the doctor told me that I needed to do this for the betterment of my health. So that's what happened. It wasn't until after my freshman year of college that I kind of fell in love with the whole process. I've told this story before. Bert Navarrete, he introduced me to this world of It Fits Your Macros, and then Will Greenberg, who was the OG other fat dude from the first 2-3 videos, he was the one that showed me full days of eating and max tuning back like 2, maybe 3 years ago. It's crazy how it's been that long, and that's kind of what sparked everything. At first, It Fits Your Macros, I've researched it a lot, and I was like, whoa, this sounds kind of like legit. And then I started playing around, and it was almost like a puzzle, like, oh, this food has this X amount of macros, and I need this amount of macros to finish my day. It was like a game that I was playing with myself. And then the fact that you could see your friends' diaries on MyFitnessPal was even cooler. So then that's kind of like how it sparked, and I was watching YouTube, and then Will one day was like, you know what, dude, let's start a channel. Screw it, like, why not? Like, we might as well, we're bored, it's winter vacation. And we did it, and he was part of it for about 3 to 5 of the first 5, I would say, videos. And then he had to go back to school, and I was still at home, attending school, but I was just at home, local. So it was easier for me to continue it. So that's kind of what I've been striving, or that's kind of what got me into the whole fitness industry. And what keeps me going, honestly, it's just like how much I've changed and how much this whole world has kind of affected my life. Like, I went to LA, paid. Like, it was a surreal experience. I just got sponsored by a supplement company and by a person that I've looked up to for the past year and a half, you know? Like, things like that have just, like, puzzle pieces are falling into place. Everything is kind of figuring itself out. And I'm attending a great school for what I want to do. So that's going to do it for the Q&A, guys. I know it's a little bit long, I kind of dragged it on, but I had fun doing it. I'm going to post it as soon as I can, get you guys some good quality content. Thank you for bearing with me on this little hiatus. Thank you for all the subscriptions. And like I said, Wolfpack Gym Apparel, those guys are the freaking best. And BPN, I cannot wait to see where we kind of take this. So, Fat Dudes 10 for Wolfpack Gym Apparel, Fat Dudes for BPN. The discount codes will get you 10% off everything, and I'll have everything in the description below. But until next time, guys, let's cue this intro and I cannot wait to show you guys what I have in store for the rest of the summer. Peace.